Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Late Night Fringe. I'm your host, Ian Gibbs. Welcome, everybody. Yeah. I like it. Welcome. So tonight with us, we have our Late Night Fringe band is Craig and David. Give it up for these two lovely individuals. I'm not sure if you caught David's rendition of Olive Me. Why not take Olive Me, as he was eating his olives and improvising a song? It was quite clever.
I got it right away.
And then I Feel Pretty is leading into a particular theme tonight.
Yes, so the theme of the evening is a one-piece costume contest. Melissa is going to come down pretty soon with a prize. I can see we're getting a little fringy over here. I've got some people getting fringy. There's a bag of other stuff if you want to grab something and doll yourself up. We are going to have a costume procession at some point of people who want to participate. But that will be coming up in a moment. So tonight we're going to be interviewing three of our artists that are performing in the Fringe. We've got a bunch of artists, a lot of great stuff going on with Fringe. We're really just excited to hear about all these shows and all the things. Tonight's just a chance for you guys, and also we've got a live streaming audience at home watching to get to know some of the artists, get to know a little about them, a little about their work, and that sort of stuff, and also a chance to just hang out and be with other Fringers and audience members. This has been really fun. This is our third night doing this. Definitely, have some cocktails, meet some people. The more you drink, the funnier I get, and, those things happen. So before we get started on any costume stuff, and if you see me going around with a mic and you don't hear anything coming out of the mic, don't be alarmed. It's not as a prop. It's for the live streaming people at home so we can get audio to them. Before we get started, I'd just love to go around and talk about any shows that people have seen and what your experience of that show is. Either one show or a couple shows that you've really liked that have stood out, that kind of thing. David, you got anything? Any shows you've enjoyed so far?
I saw Sexology tonight. It was a fantastic show.
Yeah, Sexology he saw, said it was great.
Fantastic show. And I saw Ingenue today.
You saw Ingenue today, yep.
It was very sweet.
Yeah. That little Fiona Small,
Fiona Small. Her name is Fiona Small, and she's very small.
As it turns out, she embodies her name.
And that's the name she was given before she even grew.
That's great. Yeah, I'm going to pass the mic around if anyone wants to talk about a show. Anybody? We just go down the line.
All right. Well, among other things, I saw Braden, the magic show.
Yeah, Braden Carl.
That was quite entertaining.
Awesome.
And my 6-year-old also loved it.
I saw two fantastic shows that seemed really different, but were sort of about the same thing. One was Janice, which I really recommend. It's very literary, very improvisational, and fantastic, confessional, and also makes you think about how you exist in our culture. And then I saw Performing Valeska, I apologize, Performing Valeska, which is similarly about how we exist in our cultures and how we understand ourselves. Two fantastic shows.
Great.
Two fantastic shows.
What up? I'm G-Dog. I saw Sexology tonight. It was tight. I liked the part where she talked about strap-on blowjobs.
And we saw Sexology tonight, and it was amazing, incredible. It was such a wonderful experience that Melanie shared with us her story. I just recommend everyone to go see it if you haven't seen it already. It's really amazing. And yes, on the surface, you're like, oh, it's about sex. And yep, it's all about sex. And it's about a whole lot more than that. And it was moving, and it was really incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah.
I as well saw Sexology. It's the show of the night. And yeah, just a charming storyteller. There's many things. She's enchanting. Yeah.
Yeah, we interviewed her last night, Melanie Mosley.
Yeah.
She's just like a little ball of energy. And if you ever are with her in a show, you will know her laugh right away. She's like got this awesome like. So much
I got to throw in for Sexology as well. It was a terrific show. I really appreciated all the definitions that she came out with and explanation, at least from her point of view, and the dictionaries that she found for that point of view. And got into compersion, which it seems to be going through the fringe circuit with Red Bastard dealing with compersion the last year and so on with his own show and so on. But no, she did a terrific job, and it's heartwarming actually. And then I saw what was the other one I saw that I saw the Nap the Play, an outstanding performance ensemble. And the other one is performing Valeska. And listen, I tell you, as old as I am, I realized that I was born way too late. I wish I was a part of that world. I think we need to do shows about the Weimar Republic, and everything that came out of that. And it was excellent. And then, so I was really glad to find out about the Valeska Gerten and so on. So that's it. That's all.
I pass.
Anybody over here want to talk about a show they saw? Yeah?
Yeah. I saw the Gary Miller show. He's a comedian. He's funny as fuck. Yeah, I've known him my whole life, but he still fucking made me fucking crack up, and it's non-biased. He's funny as shit. So I compare him to a Dave Chappelle, but white. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's fearless, and he does not give a fuck, and it's evident, and it's hilarious. So yeah. Anything?
Awesome. Great. Anybody else? Yeah. Go ahead.
I learned some new terminology with the Problem Gary Miller show. So one was what doing back end, front end. I don't know what the fuck it was, but DBJ. I was like, what the hell is that? So okay. Well, anyway, you got to learn. If you want to learn new sex education class, it's all about it.
I got nothing.
You got one down here? Good.
Yeah, I saw 2 shows tonight. Saw Michael's show, Tiramisu, but I'm not going to talk about that because we all already know how amazing and talented and funny he is. But I just came out of Unraveled, which was so beautiful.
Which one is that?
It is the Nosilla Dance Project. And yeah, I was talking with Janet from Performing Valeska right before the show, and we were talking about how she had mentioned that dancers are kind of the bottom tier of performers. And I don't know, I just felt this really strong invitation going into it to kind of step into a place that's a little bit out of my comfort zone, because there's no vocalization. No one's telling me what to feel or guiding me through the experience in this black and white way. Right. So, and especially as a writer, it was really hard to just drop into feeling without conceptualizing. And it was really beautiful. Definitely go see it.
Awesome. Well, that sounds great. I hope dancers aren't the bottom tier of performers. Is that
You get 2 performances.
Yeah.
Get 10 weeks to run.
Oh, fair enough. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you don't get as much time usually. Interesting. But I love dance and dancers, by the way. Cool. So right now, boy, it's getting cozy in here. It looks like we're at standing room capacity, but that's great. I would say, let's see. I was gonna have people walk through, but maybe let's see. How are we gonna do this? If anyone would like to. If anyone would like to stand up and show us your costume, why don't we just do it right in place? If you want to participate in the one-piece costume contest, please, why doesn't everyone stand up who wants to participate in a one-person costume contest? Good, okay.
How about if everyone stands up and then the people who have costumes stay up while everyone else sits down? Just kidding.
Let's see. I really want to do a parade. Actually, yeah, if you could come out and we'll stand in a line over here. Yeah, let's get them out. We got to do this full. And we're going to need parade line music also. Yes. Yeah, start up there. Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's what happens when you grow your
No. Can we get like some like catwalk music, like a modeling? This is it. All right, actually, Brandon, if you could step over just a little bit. All right, so this is our first contestant. If you can just step to the, to turn around a little bit. Yes, look at this. Here's our contestant. And then when you're done, you can come walk through this way. Good. Okay, there's quite a few pieces there. Good. Here we got our next. And do it like you're modeling, like you're walking on the catwalk. Oh yeah, good. Ooh. Ah, good. Next contestant. Look, I believe these are a pair of jeans. Those are a pair of jeans that are on her. Yes. Ooh, good. Oh, I like it. Good. Here we go. Here's the top. Yeah. Good. Nice. Lovely. Yeah, I love that. Ooh, hot. Love it. Hot. Good. All right. Here we go. That's our next contestant. Yep. All right. Yep. Oh, I love it. Yep. Keep going. Yep. Oh, hot. Ooh. No. Yes. Yes. No. Hot. Ooh. So hot. Good. Go ahead. Yep. Ooh. Oh, I love it. Ooh. Oh, nice. Oh, she's beautiful. That's my homie. That's my homegirl right there. Heck yeah. That's okay. What's that? No, don't do that. Cool. All right, so by round of applause, did we like the jeans around the head? Woo! By round of applause, did we like Todd's catheter face? Woo! Good. All right, contestants, keep coming through. How do you like Gary's wig?
Yeah! Princess Beefcake!
Princess with the wig here?
Gary! Yeah! Princess Beefcake! Beefcake, baby! I don't need to see.
Now we're all going to get settled in. All right, well, I think Marty Jewell was the winner, ladies and gentlemen. Your prize will be announced at the end of the show. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you all for coming out. We're going to jump right into some interviews here. We've got some great artists with us here this evening. Our first artist I'd like to bring to the stage, this gal is from Oakland, California. She is Oaktown, yes. Got some Oakland happiness. Excellent. She's from Oakland, California. She is performing in the Secret Chapel. Her show is called Performing Valeska. Please give it up for Janet Collard. Welcome to the hot table, as we like to call it. It's a hot seat on a hot table.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
It's good. It feels, I like it.
Good. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, did you have a show today?
I did.
You did, and how'd it go?
It was great.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Sometimes you give your best show to like 7 people.
Aha.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know? Sometimes you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
In the middle of the country, and you give the best performance of your life. And you're like, I could die now. That was so good. You just never know.
Is that what you felt about today?
I felt really good.
Today was
I felt
like
really
that
good.
kind of day.
I felt very loved. Yeah. I felt very loved. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It was fun.
So tell
I
us,
sunk in.
You sunk in, even with
did.
the 7 people there. You were.
Oh.
You got into it and did your.
They enveloped me.
Awesome.
It was good.
That's great.
Yeah.
So tell us about your show. Tell us about Valeska and all this stuff, and sort of how you created this show. I would say.
Well, I have to talk about the woman herself
Yes.
a little bit first.
Please do.
For those of you who don't know, Valeska Gert is the mother of the punk movement. So look her up. A fascinating figure in dance and theater and film. She was in the original Threepenny Opera, the film.
Oh wow.
Bertolt Brecht and Kurt Weill, for those of you who know your theater history. And one of the inventors of like modern dance and I would say modern dance theater.
Yeah.
And she was very much her own creature.
Yes.
Very much against the man, hated the bourgeois class.
Yes.
Wanted to explore real people and real life on stage.
Yes.
So some people either loved her or some people despised her.
Yeah,
and
when
she
I was
okay with that.
Yeah, when I was looking up information on her, I saw some video and she's like in this thing and she's going.
Yeah.
I'm like she's like crazy, like absurdist, like
Yeah.
Dadaist as well.
Well, she I don't know who came up with the term.
Yeah.
I don't think she did, but she was dubbed as grotesque dance or grotesque dance.
Uh-huh.
So she is theater of the grotesque or dance of the grotesque.
Right.
She was known for having a really rubber band face.
Yeah.
And so she makes these crazy faces that are unique to her, and I do my best, but
Yes.
yeah, it's good workout for your face.
Nice, nice. So cool. So what grabbed you about her? Like at what part of your experience was like, oh, I want to do something with this one?
Yeah, I was talking to Sarah actually earlier, and I was like, I feel like I keep coming across realizations about me and her.
Yeah.
And at graduate school, I learned about her. She was just had like maybe 2 paragraphs in a book, and there was a picture of her, and the picture was captivating.
Yes.
Because every image of her is captivating.
Right,
Once you
'cause she's
see-
crazy.
You Google her images and you're like, who is this person? And that, and the fact that she was an actor and a dancer, which I've grew up doing dance and theater in my whole life and feel like I'm always trying to figure out how to put these things together. And she was also trying to do the same thing.
Cool. So you felt some parallel between you and her.
I
Cool.
did. Yeah.
Well, that's why wouldn't you do an artist like that if you feel connected to
I
it?
did, yeah. I feel very connected. And the other fact was that how come I had never heard of this person
Yeah.
who was incredibly intriguing and fascinating and part of this lineage of performing arts and dance and theater? How have I never heard of her?
Yeah.
When she's contemporaries with all the people that we have heard of,
Right,
you know?
right. They even
So-
have a full museum of just Valeska Gert stuff. As far when I was looking online, there's like a Valeska Gert museum, and
They're in Germany.
In Germany,
yeah,
I believe, yeah.
Yeah. She's coming up now.
Yeah.
Yeah. For maybe the last decade or so, I feel like she's starting to surface.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, when people watch your show, is there something that you want them to get from your show? Like, is there something you're trying to put out, or what's that feel like?
Oh, that's such a good question. I feel like it's a love letter to her.
Aha.
And I feel like I want people to know about her.
Yeah.
Because her timeline was severed, was broken. She sort of some of her own doing. She kind of like, look, I'm here, and then she would cut her career, like just sever it, and
On
be like,
purpose.
I'm gonna do this now.
Yeah.
And she talks about that later in her life. But she also had to flee Nazi Germany because she was Jewish-born woman, and she was put on the degenerate artist list by the Nazi Party, and
Yeah.
like her life was at stake. So, but she was like, I don't give a fuck, and she
Yeah.
would just be like, I don't care, and her partners were like, you have to leave. She's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And
She
it-
seemed like a
yeah.
rebellious
Oh,
artist
big time.
character. Like, did
Big
just
time.
went against the thing. Like absurdist. I don't know if you guys have watched a lot of absurdist theater or dance, but I love it because it's like when it's done well, it's how far can we push the envelope of what's watchable and what's not. Like that, and that's what a lot of Fringe is about sometimes, which is also really cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you've done a lot of dance. You've been with a lot of companies. Are you currently with a company, or are you doing more of your own stuff? Or
I've been with a lot of companies. Yeah, the world of dance. I mean, theater too. You're moving around. You're working with independent choreographers sometimes. Sometimes, you know, the dream I think of a dancer is to be in a company. You know.
Yeah.
And I have been in a company, touring company, and it is hard work, man. And I'm glad I had the experience, and I'm glad I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
So I am not dancing for anybody else right now but myself.
Cool.
Yay.
Yay, dancing for yourself.
Yeah, so no, but I do choreograph a lot.
Nice.
I choreograph for a lot of musical theater now, which is super fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. So you've got gigs. Do you have upcoming gigs? Something you're excited about, or?
Yeah. The rest of the show's here.
Yeah, of
Yay.
course. Yes.
And I'll be going to the Rochester Fringe in
cool.
Rochester, New York
Nice.
next month, and have a residency at the University of Rochester
Awesome.
there as well. So doing the show there and getting to know what that's like. This is my first Fringe.
This
so-
is your first Fringe? A Fringe virgin, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Well, yes, again, I've only heard great things about your show. I'm really excited to see it. I hope everyone does come and see it.
Yes, please come.
Definitely come, yeah.
It's so hard. I feel like it's hard to explain like how interesting she is, and if you don't know who she is, you're like, performing what? Performing
Yeah.
the who?
Yeah.
You know, but just come and you'll see. Like she's fascinating.
And even do a little Google ahead of time if you're really interested. Like, there's some cool stuff that I found. I was like, oh yeah, this seems like an interesting artist that I would like to see portrayed. So, anything else that you wanted to add?
I don't know. Just support everybody. Support everybody at the Fringe. Support all the artists. Come to as many shows as you can, and please tell people. That's the best way to get people to the shows.
Yeah, person to person is the best. Cool. Well, Performing Valeska is being performed again tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. in the Secret Chapel. Please give it up for Janet Collar. Thank you. Awesome. We're just going to keep this going. Our next actor, this is his second appearance on The Late Show with Fringe. He's a returning...
So popular the first time.
Yeah, yes, exactly. This gentleman's from San Diego, California. His show is Crapshoot, or Why I Voted for Trump, a love story. Please welcome to the hot table, Todd Blakesley. Awesome, welcome.
Thank you, Ian.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
I need to know, is this a catheter? Is that what this is?
This is a Stadium Pal. Normally, this goes on your penis.
Okay.
And then the bag goes down your leg, and you can just drink beer and shout insults and never have to leave your seat.
I see.
That's what it's designed for. But I find that it's actually pretty useful for if you have hay fever, you know, of allergy seasons.
Yeah.
You can just fill the bag with mucus, you know, at the same time.
Just
so it's
drain,
It's
just
just
drain.
drains.
Drain all day long.
Yeah, whatever you need to drain into it, that's what it's for. It's really sticky too, so it's kind of.
Oh, okay. So it's a sticky drain on your face.
It's a
is what
sticky
you're
drain
saying.
on my face.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
exactly.
cool. Well, we've heard nothing but awesome things about your show. I have not seen it yet, but I'm really excited to.
What seems to be the problem, Ian?
Well, I have other commitments during the evenings.
Oh.
Until tomorrow, my schedule starts to free up. So
okay.
I'm going to start seeing more.
Right.
So go ahead and tell us about your show. Tell us how it came to be. That was an interesting story last time, I think, about how it came to be.
You want me to repeat that story?
Yeah,
Oh my
we got lots of
God.
new faces
Well, we
here.
do have lots of new faces.
We
That's
do.
true. The story came about because I took a workshop, and I had done a lot of solo shows before, but a friend of mine who did a lot of solo shows was doing a workshop, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to pick his brain, see what he does," you know. And he insisted that everybody in the workshop write a scene, and I didn't want to write a scene about anything that I was actually working on at the time. So I thought, I've always wondered why did somebody vote for Trump?
Yeah.
And so I sat down and did a scene. And they loved that scene. They said, write another. And then they said, write another. And then they said, write another. And I didn't want to write this thing at all. And then all of a sudden, it's like, it took hold and just like wrote it out. So
Yeah.
finished it. That's kind of it.
Nice. Do you have a particular process in your writing? Like, do you sit for hours at a time on one thing, or do you write a little bit here and come back to it, edit? What's your process?
My process is to take a pair of pliers and to pull my teeth out one at a time.
I see. So you're saying it's very painful.
It's painful.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Does it not come easily, naturally to you? I know I can't write. I have a terrible time writing. I can improvise up on stage all night long, but when you sit me down with a pen and pencil, it's like all of my creative energy disappears.
Yeah, I know. I should be more disciplined and do a little bit every day, but I do it in big, huge chunks.
Yeah.
And that's the best. You know, I've been trying for 50 years, and this is the closest I've come to actually writing a play that like works.
Okay, that's always good. That's encouraging. Is this, of a lot of pieces that you've done, is this one of your favorites, or is this like moving towards something?
It's a favorite to perform because what's unusual about it is that when I start doing it, it just takes over and I just shoot through it. It's not like one of those plays that you go and, okay, I got to get through this play tonight, you know, and by the end, it just takes hold. So that's great. No, most of the work I do actually is immersive theater. So audience and action, there is no audience. Everybody's involved in the same situation. So.
Right. We'll mention again, Todd also does a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. He's been a festival coordinator with the San Diego Fringe for how long?
Well, between 2013 and 2017, that's when I stopped working for them.
Right. So he's done a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So he's seen.
That's where I met Michael for the first time at the San Diego Fringe, standing outside the Spreckles Theater. That 2016 was it? 2016 or 17? Anyway, don't worry about it. Yeah. I don't mean to tax you. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's all a big blur. Yeah. No, not 2018. I don't think. Well, maybe it was. I'll forget it anyway.
Doesn't matter. Again, out of this show, is there something? Similar question. Like, is there something you want people to walk away from with this show?
Well, funny you should bring that up. I'm gonna relay something to you that happened today because I wear that sign, right, and I walk around the Pearl Street Mall and finally the last round I did, a guy comes up to me and he says and he's a tall guy, you know, a strong man, probably late 30s, maybe 40, I don't know, something like that, sunglasses, and he says, "What is this?" And I said, "Well, it's a play." It says, "Is it pro-Trump or anti-Trump?" And I said, "Well, it's neither. It's not about Trump at all." He goes, No, there's no gray area. You're either for Trump or you're against Trump. And I go, "Well, in this particular case, no, sir, listen to me. This is very important. There's something going on and it's going to pop. And there's 1,000 military guys like me that are waiting for it to happen. So what I want you to do is take that sign off and don't wear it anymore, all right?" Wow. And I go, and so he turns and starts walking away, and I don't take the sign off. And as he's walking down the street, he turns around and he sees me again. He goes like that, and I go, "Okay." And then he turns and then he leaves. Well, I wasn't going to take it off because what is he talking about? He wouldn't stay and actually listen to anything I had to say. Nor did he understand what he was upset about because I couldn't figure out what he was upset about the sign. He wouldn't tell me at all. And so that's what I would want people to take away from the play is that it's time to listen to people even if your knee-jerk reaction is, "Oh, I hate you." Instead, listen to what they have to say and try to incorporate and come to some sort of an understanding because that's the way we'll get out of this mess rather than just getting pissed at everybody.
Well said. Well said, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah. Anything else you want to add? Anything?
Like what?
I don't know. Just I don't want you to leave feeling like there was. You have a question from the audience. Yes. You may. Yes, absolutely, James.
When you're creating your material, you were talking about creating it, and so are you creating it in like 10-minute chunks and 5-minute chunks? Is there a way that you're
Boy,
together?
I honestly don't think about it in terms of timing. I sit down and I get an idea and then I write a scene out, and that scene may survive or it may not survive. But is it intimidating? No, I pretty much sit there for 8 hours and write a bunch, and then I don't do anything for a while.
And do you work with other people?
I do. Not on this particular case, no. But I do collaborate with other. I have a lot of collaboration with people on other plays and stuff like that. I love collaborating. It's my favorite.
I had one other question for you. You've been in theater a long time. You've seen a lot of stuff. How have you seen theater change? Do you think things like Netflix and all these streaming devices do you think theater is dying? Do you think people are not going to the theater as much? I'm curious.
Okay. Well, no, that's a good question. So when I was a teenager doing a lot of theater and so on like that, people would say to me that, theater's dying.
When you were a teenager.
And every cycle, theater's dying, the nature of it changes somewhat, but there's one thing that can't change about it, and that it's a live medium. They still haven't come up with holograms that can interact with us efficiently, and even that may not be fully the same thing. That's what I love about immersive theater, because it's all happening in the same room at the same time with everybody, and you have to deal with that experience. So I think that maybe I would say that I started doing immersive theater in the 70s, and there weren't a lot of people picking it up. Nowadays, in the last 15 years, there's been a lot of that. So my hope is that this is becoming experiential theater is probably the major shift as far as getting more people involved. Wow. But the rest of the theater is perfectly valid, and it will continue to exist forever.
Yeah, I agree. I was just wanting to get your thing, but
Well, if you agreed, what'd you ask me for?
Hey,
then?
I'm the devil's advocate. I'm the host. That's what I do. Awesome. So,
all right.
Todd's next show is going to be tomorrow, Sunday the 18th at 9 p.m. in Fellowship Hall. Yeah. Please give it up for Todd.
Right. Thank you.
Awesome. Our next gentleman coming to the hot table is local. He's from he's currently residing in Denver. His show is called Problem Best Worst Cantina. It's showing in the Playroom. Please welcome to the stage Gary John Miller. Welcome, sir. Come on up.
All right.
Did you have a show today?
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Really well. A lot of people laughed.
Good.
Talked about some inappropriate material.
Excellent.
And I think we left as better people.
You laughed as better people.
Left as better people.
Oh, left as better people. Okay. Yeah. I was wondering how you laugh as a better person.
I think. Yeah.
I'm better.
I would say so.
That's awesome. So tell me about your name. Is it Gary Miller? Is it Gary John Miller?
I went by Gary John Miller because I was like, well, that's easier to find on the Google machine.
Aha.
And then it's also my grandpa and my dad's name. So I was like, I like it. I'm just gonna use it.
So you're sticking with Gary John Miller.
I don't want a stage name. I just think it's weird.
Okay.
So I just want to use my name. I like it. I earned it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Tell me about your show. It's comedy oriented, right?
Yeah.
It's funny stuff.
It's primarily like characters and some storytelling. It's been going well the last couple of nights. We've had a blast, and that's all I care about, is having fun.
Nice.
So.
And is it more than just you? Is it you and other people?
No, it's just me.
Just you.
And then I yell at people.
Oh, you yell? Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And then we have a good time.
Okay. Sometimes people need to get yelled at, just kind of shake it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And tell me about your comedy stuff. Do you do stand-up, sketch? Have you
stand-up, character stuff, solo sketch, and some storytelling?
Nice.
But I'd say primarily stand-up. That's where my roots are.
Okay.
I've been doing that for several years now.
Nice. And do you gig around a lot in Denver?
Yeah, I just did some stuff in Chicago at this show called Shithole, and it's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, I think the question we all want to know is the place a shithole?
Oh yeah, but it's the best.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And it's like up in an attic, and like I was inviting my friends out, and I was like, hey, I'm doing this show called Shithole. And they're like, where is it? And I was like, I can't tell you, because they don't tell you until the day of. And my friends were like, I don't know that I want to go to this show.
So it's like a rave. It's like a comedy rave.
Yeah, it's just such a special show, and I love doing that anytime I'm in Chicago. And that's kind of where I feel like I cut my teeth, and I met a lot of cool comics out there and learned some stuff. And they're kind of elsewhere in the country doing some cool shit.
Cool. Did you spend a significant time in Chicago? Did you live there for a while?
I spent about a year and a half, but I went to school in the Midwest as well.
Gotcha.
Right by the Mississippi River.
Okay.
Yeah, riverboat gambling and everything.
Nice.
So.
Cool.
Turned into a degenerate. That's what I'm saying.
Now, would you still consider yourself a degenerate? Or-
Absolutely. I'm way worse now.
Oh, you're worse now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Way
All right.
worse.
So like going to the South, and
Yeah.
now you're worse.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm just trying to be a better person, but I'm like trying to do it in the worst way. You know what I'm saying?
Don't really know. I don't know what that means,
We'll
but
figure it out.
I almost don't want to follow it up because we can leave that as it is. And now you've done some film and television stuff as well, as far as I could tell.
Yeah, we're shooting a film right now. Which I should plug, huh?
Please plug it.
Okay.
Yes.
It's called Don't Call It a Comeback. We're shooting right now. There's a website.
Are we live streaming? Maybe.
Follow us. That's a lot of fun. It's about a brother and sister who, their dad recently died, and the son has not been around, and he comes back, and they're trying to save their house, and they resort to selling illicit drugs to make ends meet. And
They sound like degenerates
It's
to me.
very fun though. It's good for the family. It's a family film, I would say. I'm honest about that. It's gonna be. I'm pretty excited about it.
Nice.
But yeah.
Is there something? Is there some place you want to go with comedy? Like, do you see? Is there a goal? Do you have a goal in mind? Do you want to just keep cranking away at it, or is there something you really want to try and do?
That's fair. I feel like every comic, they're like, I want to make it, but like, I just don't want to lose that pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
If I turn off the switch, I feel like I've died internally.
Right.
And
And no one wants that.
No, and I just feel like my soul. I feel like if you're a comic, man, you're not supposed to like make people like you. In my personal opinion,
Yes,
like
yes.
you should leave being like, hey, I hate that fucking guy, but he made me laugh.
Right. Yes.
So that's what I hope.
I mean, so you just want to be hated. You're just.
It's fun. I just feel like when people are like, I like you, I'm like, dude, you're gonna change liking me as soon as you find out something like political opinion, sexuality, all kinds of stuff. I'm like, fuck you. I'm just gonna be myself. So
That's good. That's good. That's a good way to
I'll
be.
tell you.
And sometimes if people don't like you, you have a little more freedom to be more.
Exactly, a degenerate.
Yes. I think we found the theme of Gary John Miller tonight. Is there anything else you want to add?
Man, I should plug stuff. I'm
Yeah.
real bad at that. But yeah, just check my website out, Gary Miller BWC. My friend, he thought that was Big White Cock. But it's actually Best Worst Cantina.
Best Worst Cantina. Interesting. I could see how he would make that mistake.
Yeah.
And maybe it's another possible subtitle of your show.
I'm like, well, I mean, the big, no.
That first one is off the table. White is probably
no. No, we're like tan.
Okay.
Doesn't.
Off-white.
This is off.
White.
We gotta go off the palette at Home Depot and figure it out.
Well, that's awesome. I'm really excited to come see your show. I love to laugh. I love edgy stuff as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. Gary's next show is tomorrow night, Sunday the 18th at 5:45 in the Playroom. Let's give it up for Gary John Miller. Sounds fun. Awesome. Can I get some Ian's shameless plug music?
Sure.
It goes like Ian's shameless plug, Ian's shameless plug. Just Ian's shameless plug, Ian's shameless plug. Here it comes to you. Good. Perfect. Yeah, great. Totally improvised. So I've got a show coming up on Wednesday, 7 o'clock in Fellowship Hall. I'm playing with the Boulder Improv Collaborative. I'm doing a 2-person improv piece, and then there's 2 other groups performing. So please come see that. It's a one-time event. Also, in a few weeks, I'm performing with my other improv comedy group, which is called the Front Deranged Improv Comedy Players, which is a short-form group that plays Thursday, August 29th at Jester's Dinner Theater in Longmont. If you're local and around, come and see that. Real quick, just want to have some artist shout-outs for us people who weren't interviewed tonight. Just pass it around and give yourself a shout-out, please.
Michael Burgos, Tiramisu.
That was Michael Burgess Tiramisu. Oh, are we doing this only for the live?
Just for the artist, yeah. Just the artist.
Oh, he was playing translator.
Translate. By the way, that was Michael Burgess, too.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Marty the Magic Jewel, and I am doing stories with a twist and a punch. And it's very family-oriented. It's clean. I know that's shocking in a Fringe show to be clean, and I'm not going to swear. I swear.
Fabulous. Evelyn Jean Pine, freeloader in the House of Love. It's not clean, but it's delightful.
Oh, Janet was already interviewed.
So this is Mel Mosley, Sexology the Musical. Come check it out. My journey from monogamy to solo polyamory, and I am so freaking thrilled right now that one of my partners showed up today.
James Sunquist, show Mingalaba is 6 p.m. tomorrow night. I just saw Sexology. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was the best show at the Fringe.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll take it up. I think that's everybody. Yes. Good. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Tomorrow night, if I can check my notes here. Tomorrow night, we're doing this again. Another show at 10:30. I believe the theme is, oh, here it is. The theme is Once Upon a Time. So it's going to be a fairy tale theme, and we are going to do a live, improvised fairy tale that's never been told. And we don't know who's going to do it yet. It's pretty much whoever's here and wants to do it. It's going to be really fun. Do you have a question? Of course. It's the Fringe. You can come in costume anytime you want. Cool. So please feel free to hang around, grab a drink, go to the bar, mingle, grab a table out there, grab some food. This is all about us as a community, getting to know each other, hanging out, being friends. One more time, let's give it up for the house band of Late Night. This is Craig and David. And let's also give it up for Artem, our tech with the most from Earth Coast Productions. Thank you very much. This has been Late Night with Fringe. My name is Ian Gibbs. We'll see you tomorrow.